Yeah, I'm leaving now. No, I'm definitely not going back in there. I've had enough excitement for one day. Relax. What's the worst thing that could happen? Oh, crap. What the? Oh, come on.
Help! Help! Help me! Please! Somebody help me! Hey! Please don't leave me!
Can you move?
I'm stuck!
Okay, don't panic.
Don't panic? Have you seen that thing?
Yeah, we've met. What's your name?
Tiffany.
Okay, Tiffany. When I say run, you run.
What about you?
I'll be right behind you. Run!
Why is that thing following us?
I was actually hoping you knew. Wait!
What?
Nothing! Keep moving! Get in!
It's open.
There. No keys.
That's a problem.
I'm working on it.
Can you actually start this thing?
I've never done this before, but I think I can do it. See? Everything is under control.
It's not funny, just drive. It's still coming.
Yeah, I noticed.
It's gaining.
I see it.
Look out!
It's dead. Out, out.
This girl has something that I want.
That's what this whole thing was about?
Correct.
You destroyed half the city for a discount code?
It's 50%. Nice.
You could have just asked.
Everything you just watched was generated with Seedance 2.5, right inside Runway. And when you put that into perspective, it's pretty crazy. Just 2 years ago, getting a clean 5-second AI video was already a big achievement. Now we're generating 6 times that length in a single generation, with much more control, consistency, and detail. This is more than just another model update. This feels like one of those shifts in AI video that we've been waiting for. Seedance 2.5 is live on Runway right now, and I've left the link in the description if you want to try it yourself. You can also use the code Seedance50 to get 50% off your first month, or scan the QR code on the screen. But enough talking about it, let me show you exactly how I built this intro, and then we're going to put Seedance 2.5 head-to-head with the previous Seedance 2.0. The first and most important thing is the idea, your raw concept, written in your own words and with as much detail as possible. In my case, I had about a full page of text in Google Docs. Go ahead and paste all of that into Claude and tell it exactly what you want to create. Ask it to help you break down the full story and create the prompts for each generation. Tell it roughly how long you want the final video to be, and then let it build out the structure. From there, read through the full concept and go back and forth with Claude. Ask it to change anything you don't like until you have a clean story and structure you're happy with. This part is really important, because the more time you spend refining the concept before you start generating, the fewer regenerations you'll need later. Now, with the full concept lined up, we could ask Claude to turn everything into clean 30-second Seedance 2.5 prompts. But before doing that, we first need to prepare all the assets we're going to use. So the second step is preparing the visual references. For my example, I created references for the monster, the city, and the main characters that would appear throughout the film. To create a clean character reference sheet like this one, I left the exact prompt in a Google Doc inside my Telegram channel. The link is in the description. Just copy the full prompt and head over to the image generator. From there, upload the reference images of your character and paste in the prompt. One close-up of the face and one full body shot showing the complete outfit are more than enough. For the image model, I'll be using GPT Image 2 because it does a great job with skin details and can create really clean character reference sheets in a single generation. I'll switch the resolution to 4K and click Generate. And this is the part I actually like. GPT Image 2, Nano Banana Pro, Seedream 5, Runway Zone Gen 4. They're all sitting right there, so you can just play around, run the same idea through a few different image models, and keep whichever one gives you the best shot for what you're building. The final step is creating the actual Seedance 2.5 prompts. I uploaded all of my assets to Claude in the same chat where I explained the idea I wanted to create and asked it to turn everything into detailed prompts, broken down shot by shot. Make sure you upload every reference image you plan to use. That way, Claude can actually see the characters, locations, and other visual elements, and write each prompt specifically around those assets. Then those prompts go into Seedance 2.5 inside Runway. To access it, simply click the Tools tab and select Video. From there, upload all the assets you prepared, add the prompt for each generation, and you're ready to generate. Originally, I wanted the intro to be around 90 seconds, so I split the entire story into 3 30-second generations. But once I started generating it, I realized there was simply too much action packed into that amount of time. So I added 2 more 30-second generations to give the story a little more room to breathe and make the pacing feel more natural. You can actually see the exact prompt used and the references used for each shot. And in total, it took me around 13 generations to get every scene right. It could definitely be fewer, but I'm still learning the model and testing different approaches to see what works best. After generating all the footage I needed, I stitched everything together in CapCut. And that's basically the whole pipeline. I also added some cinematic sound effects from Ocular Sounds on top of the native audio generated by Seedance 2.5, just to give the final edit a more polished cinematic feel. And here's the thing that genuinely changed how fast this went. With 30-second generations, even when a few seconds come out badly, you've still got a huge amount of usable footage from that same generation. You're not throwing the whole thing away and rolling again. You cut around it and move on. That alone has made the process so much faster than it was 6 months ago. And one of the biggest improvements over Seedance 2.0 is the skin quality. The details are noticeably sharper, the textures feel more natural, and the overall image just looks more realistic. Seedance 2.5 is now available in 1080p, but the biggest improvement is the actual quality inside that frame. It's not just about the higher resolution. The model does a much better job with the fine details that make the footage look and feel genuinely realistic. I also ran this footage through an upscale to 4K, so let me show you both.
No, I'm definitely not going back in there. I've had enough excitement for one day. Relax. What's the worst thing that could happen?
Yeah, the 4K is crisper, obviously, but look at the 1080 next to it. It's still pretty decent on its own. And that's the point I'd make if you're worried about the resolution. It's the easiest problem to fix, and it's not going to be the reason your shot doesn't work. Which brings me to what I actually wanted to test. And that's camera movement. Seedance 2 was already incredibly strong in this area, so I'm curious to see how much the new version has improved. For this test, I'm combining several well-known cinematic camera techniques with different movie-style scenes, using a prompt that specifically calls for precise, technical camera movements commonly used in professional filmmaking. The result looks seriously impressive. Even though the video is generated at 720p, it honestly looks much sharper than I expected. But resolution aside, what really stands out is the motion. The camera movement feels incredibly smooth, the shots look cinematic, and the overall realism is really strong. Now let's run the exact same prompt through Seedance 2.0 and compare the results. And yeah, the difference is immediately noticeable, especially when it comes to the camera movement. Now I want to test an even more cinematic and action-packed scene. The dolly zoom-out effect, with my character running away from the monster. Let's see first how Seedance 2.5 performed. This is exactly what I wanted to see. The camera movement is precise, the motion feels natural, and the model managed to keep that cinematic feel throughout the entire generation. Now using the same prompt and the same assets, let's see how the previous version of Seedance performed. Okay, this one is still pretty good, but when you compare it to Seedance 2.5, the difference is definitely noticeable, especially in the camera movement and overall fluidity. So, after the test, Seedance 2.5 is better at almost everything that matters here. Motion holds, faces stay consistent, lighting matches across cuts, and it doesn't constantly cut away because it can't animate what's happening. It's not flawless. It can still do something physically impossible if you don't guide it properly, and it only understands what you actually describe in the prompt. But for cinematic work, this is one of the biggest jumps we've seen in a while. So that's Seedance 2.5, a full short film, a few reference images, and one afternoon. Big thank you to Runway for sponsoring this video. Seedance 2.5 is live on Runway right now, link is in the description, and Seedance 50 gets you 50% off your first month of any plan. Wishing you an amazing week or a weekend ahead. And remember one important thing, the future is in your hands, and you're the one generating it.